Now it's story time on Noggin.
Grover and Barkley. Read by me, Grover, from Sesame Street. My name is Grover. And this is my pal Barkley. I am here to tell you about my favorite kind of memory. Yesterday my friend Elmo told me he got his goldfish Dorothy from a fancy pet store. He asked me where I got Barkley, and I told him all about it. When I was 8 years old, I lived in the city. I did not have a dog. One day my daddy called us down the hall. His dog had puppies. He was going to give me one. One puppy was smaller than the others. My daddy said, "Do not take him. He's the runt. He'll always be small and sick." But that little puppy really needed me. I called him Barkley. He was so tiny that I had to feed him with a glass of water. We got the smallest collar we could find for him. It was too big. When he began to eat his dog food, we had to watch him all the time. He was so tiny that he was always getting lost, even in our small apartment. Daddy said Barkley was just too small. He did not think he could live through the winter. I was very sad. That night, I told Barkley I wished he'd grow to be a big healthy dog. I told him I believed in him. Next morning, he looked bigger to me. He seemed to have an easier time eating his dog food. And his collar was not so loose. In fact, by the time Daddy got home, the collar was too small. By bedtime, Barkley's tiny basket seemed a little too small for him. So I let him sleep on my pillow again. That was a mistake. Next morning, Mommy thought Barkley looked different. Daddy said, "I think he's growing." I decided to take Barkley for a walk. At the corner I saw a big dog coming. I knew I should pick Barkley up so that big dog could not hurt him. I should not have worried. Barkley was really growing. We ran home to show Mommy how big he was. Had our apartment door grown smaller? Daddy could not believe it. We put Barkley in the garden to sleep at night. In the morning, the lady upstairs called us. It was about Barkley. In fact, all the neighbors were starting to notice him. The landlord called the police. They came to see Barkley. They said he'd have to go. But how? He could not go through the door. There was just one way to get him out of our garden. They sent him to live with my uncle, who lived in the country. Barkley and I were crying. We missed each other a whole lot. One day we got a surprise. My uncle wanted Daddy to come work with him in the country. We moved right away. Barkley was waiting for me. I said, "Barkley stopped growing." "You're just right." And that is how I got Barkley, I told Elmo. "Tell me again how you got Dorothy." Elmo forgot about it anyway. The end.